Hey guys, I'm Shayla and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a kind of similar video to my previous one. It's going to be 7 things that nobody warned me about for labor, delivery, and the hospital stay when you deliver your baby. So if you haven't checked out my previous video, I did do the things that nobody warned me about during pregnancy. So I'll link that up here, put a little card in, so you can just click that and watch that if you want. But let's get right on into it. So pregnancy itself is tough, but the labor, delivery, hospitalization is a whole different beast, so to say. And there are tons of things that I did not expect, or not that they were bad or good or either way. It's just things that nobody warned me about, so I figured I would warn you guys about. The first thing is that your labor duration completely varies, and that's from everything from if you have to be induced to when you're having contractions to active pushing. Like, that all varies. I mean, I got hospitalized when I was 10 days past my due date so that they could induce me. I never got Pitocin. I got Cervidil to start the process of softening the cervix, or ripening as they call it. And hopefully then after that, then they could give me the Pitocin. But after the Cervidil, my body went into labor on its own. I was having contractions for probably, I would say, 8 hours. They got really aggressive after 4 hours. And then I only had to actively push for about 45 minutes. And then I had a beautiful baby girl in my arms. So the duration of your pregnancy really does vary. I know that they say, you know, people have all these theories about your first baby's gonna be a long labor. If you have to get induced, it could be days. It could be. I know somebody who had spent 3 days in labor and then had to get a C-section. So it really depends. So with that being said, be prepared to throw your entire birth plan out the window, because things change. That baby is going to kind of have its own plan. Your body's going to have its own plan. You had your own plan. It doesn't matter at that point. All that you need to be focused on is having a beautiful, healthy baby, or babies if you're having multiples. But just be prepared for things not to go according to your birth plan, just in case. So I was a person who wanted an epidural. I didn't want IV narcotics. I just wanted the epidural. Even though I know a lot of people are like, oh, don't get the epidural, get the drugs, don't get the drugs. It doesn't matter. Like I said, I don't pass judgment on anybody's choices in the delivery room. But with that being said, I didn't choose to have any IV narcotics, but I wanted the epidural when it was time for one. But what I wasn't prepared for is that despite the fact that I had to get induced, my labor progressed too quickly to get the epidural. So that was something I was not prepared for. When they told me it was too late for any pain meds, I wanted to cry and scream, and I was like, okay, well then you're taking this baby out of me then, because there's no way I can deal with this pain and then push through it. But I did, and I would do it all over again in a heartbeat. But that's one thing to be warned about. You might not have time to get an epidural despite how long your labor is. The next thing is something that I think, I wasn't like, the next thing is an interesting one. So during your entire pregnancy, you're going to the doctor's often. A lot of people pick their doctor, pick their midwife, pick their doula, whatever. That doctor or midwife is not guaranteed to be there during your delivery. I mean, think about it, it's their job, right? So you might not go into labor when they're on. And they can't always be on call 24/7, you know? So, I mean, fortunately for me, I was following with the midwife practice, the practice that I chose. And I did have some appointments with some doctors. And one of the doctors that I did end up having an appointment was actually the one who delivered, Lily, my daughter. But the midwife that I really loved and had wanted to be there wasn't, and that's not her fault. I mean, she needs to sleep, but just to be prepared that the person that you choose might not be there. So it's honestly, I think, better if you can kind of get a feel for a lot of different people in the practice and get familiar with them so that you're comfortable. It's going to make the process a lot easier. And on that note, also, the doctor's not in your room, or the midwife's not in your room often during your labor. They come in right at the end. Like, they'll check in on you once, maybe twice a day, but for the most part, it's the nurses, and they are amazing, which is my next thing that nobody warned me about, how incredible these nurses are. These nurses are literally angels in human form, I think. To be a labor and delivery nurse, you're incredible. I know all my nurses by name still. That, like, and my baby's 1 week away from being 6 months. That's how incredible they were. When I was like a zombie, and Lily had to be like on me at all times, and it was 5:30 in the morning and I had not slept all night, I had a nurse rock her to sleep for probably 45 minutes, like just holding her and rocking her and soothing her. And it was like, I needed those 45 minutes of sleep so badly, and she wanted to help, and that was incredible. Okay, the next one. No one warned me about the placenta. If you've had a baby, especially vaginally, you know what I'm talking about. But after you have the baby and that baby comes out and is like taken care of, you deliver the placenta. And I was not prepared for that. I don't know what I thought happened to the placenta, but me delivering it was not what I thought. And it kind of looks like, if you've ever seen the movie Alien, it literally looks like something out of that. But that's something I just was not prepared for some reason. Like I said, I have no idea. But like I said, I don't know what I thought happened to the placenta. Like it just disintegrated. I don't know. But let me tell you, was not prepared for it. The next one is something that everybody talks about, but I was not expecting. To what degree, I think, was that feeling when I held my baby for the first time. It was just like pure joy, amazement, this unreal feeling of love and euphoria. I know not everybody experiences that because postpartum depression is a real thing that a lot of people do suffer from, and that can, you know, affect how your first interaction with your baby goes. But I was blessed enough to push the baby out and have that baby like laid right on my chest, and that feeling literally has brainwashed me into like convincing myself that the entire process was not that bad and that I could do it all over again, and that I'm going to do it all over again, despite the fact that I did not get any pain medications and I was in so much pain that I was hallucinating. It convinced me that it wasn't that bad and that I'm going to do it again. That's how strong that love and connection is. And the next one kind of plays off that. The seventh thing no one warned me about was the fact that despite how exhausted you are, you probably won't be able to sleep. And not because the baby's crying, because honestly the first night I had to wake Lily up to feed her. But I just couldn't stop looking at her. Like, the nurse came in at 2:30 in the morning and Terry, my husband, was sound asleep. The baby's sound asleep. And I was just laying there staring at her. And I was on the verge of just crying because I was so happy. The nurse came in and was like, Shayla, you need to get some sleep. You need to sleep. And I was like, I just can't stop looking at her. And it was just like, I was amazed that this was my baby. Like, this was our human that we created. And it was so unreal and so exciting to me. And I was just like on a high and just staring at her and amazed by everything she did. Like, she would just like hiccup, and I thought it was like the most incredible thing in the world. So despite the fact that I was exhausted, and I mean exhausted, I could not sleep because I was just so in love with my baby. And then the next night was, I couldn't sleep because my baby was cluster feeding, which is an interesting thing, which I'll talk about in the next video. But she was eating every half hour, and she wouldn't sleep unless I was holding her. And they tell you, like, you can't sleep while you're holding the baby, but if I put her down, she would scream. So that kept me up till 5:30. And so then the angelic nurse came in and took care of the baby and was loving on her and rocking her and keeping her quiet for me, which was amazing. Treat your nurses in the maternity ward, or what is it called, labor and delivery unit, well. Like, we brought them munchkins, we brought them flowers, because honestly they're godsends and they will teach you everything you need to know. Really, like, you'll want to take them home, I promise. So yeah, so those are the 7 things during labor and delivery that nobody warned me about. If you guys have anything from your experiences, please let me know in the comments below. I'm so interested to read yours and to hear what you guys did not expect for your whole journey in the hospital, or if you had a home birth at home. I'd love to hear it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well to get notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.